Alright, welcome back to another video. It's David back at it here with day number 14 of the 75-day Blitz Challenge. I'm out here just sitting in my car, just sitting outside, about to go for a little walk right now. For today's video, I just wanted to talk about, just one, how do I put this? I mean, I keep saying very important thing. I'm trying to, switch up the phrasing here. I guess what I'm trying to say, is, I guess one thing I realize is that everyone, me included, a lot of us tend to, put labels to who we are, or to other people, to ourselves, and to the world around us, really just everything we try to categorize and label things. But, if you really think about it, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, man. Identity labels, this and that, identifying as this thing or that thing. I get it, the whole point of, categorizing or identifying under certain labels or names or, whatever it is, genders, race, whatever category it is. It's a way, it's a mechanism for us as people and humans, I guess, categorically organize, different things, subjects, and what we are and who we are. It's a convenient way to place things and group them together. That's all it is, really. But at the same time, though, having those labels and just really sticking to them, making them a part of your identity, is actually something that can hold you down as well. And I've realized that in the past, too. It's something that might hold you down, too. You might think, oh, you're Hispanic, or Asian, or you're a guy, you're a girl, you're rich, you're poor, you're this, you're a doctor, you're a entrepreneur, you're a businessman, you're a basketball player, you're a sports guy, whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter what the identity is. But where it becomes a problem when your identity is so, such a part of you that if you lose that, you're no longer that person, or you don't feel like you are who you are. That's when it becomes a problem, right? So if you're a dad, for example, you lose, I don't know, that's probably not the best example. If you're a dad, for example, and if you lose your kid or something, your kid, passes, or your wife or husband, your, significant other, spouse passes, are you still no longer that thing? Yeah, I guess technically you're no longer, wife or husband in that case, but in a sense, though, you never really die. You're still who you are, but who you are is not really a set or certain identity that's stoned into you. You have to be this thing all the time. Just because you're a guy, just because you're Asian or whatever, it does not mean that it means anything, has any meaning. The only meaning it has is in your mind, and it goes back to the mental aspect of our existence. It's all bullshit, man. Just because you're this or that does not mean you can't be this or that as well. Or you can't do that and that just because you're this. Or because you're that, you're also this. No, it's all bullshit. In the context of making money, am I a businessman? Am I an entrepreneur? Do I do this? Do I do this type of business? No, I'm just a guy who makes money. That's it. That's all I'm trying to reframe as. Even then, just saying you're a guy who makes money, ironically, is in its own way somewhat, trying to fit into a box or some identity. So the way to do it is just not even acknowledge it. You just are who you are. You're a guy who makes money. That's it. You're not anything more and anything less. You're just a guy. You're just a person who does things in life, and sometimes you're this, sometimes you're that. Sometimes you like that, sometimes you don't like that. Sometimes you are this, sometimes you're that. It's a very dynamic thing of how we exist, and should never really try to box or categorize ourselves into something that maybe some things are, maybe some things are not. It's good to understand and identify what those things are, because then you'll be able to, I guess, because that's a mechanism for how we organize information and, all navigate our world and what goes on in here. But at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. It really is all bullshit when you really think about it. There's no, there's no labels. You just want to be, you just want to exist and be happy and live, just live. Not really put any labels on anything. You kind of just are, and that's really, something I've been thinking about, and something that's not always like easy to do, because well, we all tend to box ourselves under certain things, like I'm this, I'm that, like, and when you lose that thing, the reason why it's good not to be attached to a label or identify so strongly with something as I'm only this or I'm only that, is because like things will change, they'll always change, and sometimes they won't always like be there for you. You won't always be, let's just say, for another good example is a job, right? Let's just say you've always been a teacher or whatever your whole life. As soon as you retire, you feel like you lost a part of yourself, which in fact is true and not true in a sense. You lost that role you play, but you didn't really lose yourself. You just are a human. You just are, you know? But a lot of people, you get tied so much into your identity, when you lose that, you're no longer like, you feel like you're lost. You don't feel like you exist, you know? You just, because that label is so strongly attached to you. As soon as you lose that label, or you're not, that's no longer part of your life, you just don't feel like, you know, you're fully there, you know? But you still are, though. That's just a label. That's all it is. That's just a label. It's just something you did. That was part of your life, but it wasn't something that should ever, like, define who you are, any certain label. You're just a human. That's it, you know? If there's any label that you should have, it's just, you're a human, you're a person. You just exist. You're a living being, you know? And there's something, you know, you said about just simply being and not really focusing on identity and labels and trying to categorize everything, or trying to, you know, always be this or that. No, you just are, man. You just are, you know? And I guess with that said, I guess that'll be it for this video. I mean, just let me know what you think about that. I mean, it's, you know, something I've had on my mind for the last few days, but maybe not a huge thing, but it's something that's like, kind of bothers me sometimes when people talk about their identity or label. I mean, we do it all the time. I do too as well. So I'm not saying I don't do this, but just some food for thought to, you know, think about next time you're always like trying to like fit something into some box or make some judgment based on what that label or that box is that you're trying to fit that thing or that person into. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Hit that like button if you like this video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.